Hello and welcome back to another episode of Podcast 572. As always, I'm your host, Kyle. Just joined by Matt today. Dan is out on assignment.
Yeah.
It's been we have at least under my belt the first major release of the year, which I've completely played, and that is Resident Evil Requiem. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to spoil the shit out of the game, as promised in my previous video.
Yeah.
So I will say right now, and I'll put a timestamp on the video, and I'll put a timestamp in the description. So if you don't want to know spoilers about Resident Evil, I will say up front, it is a very great game, and probably, in my opinion, the best the franchise has been in a decade. So
nice.
That's the best thing I can say without spoiling anything really about it. Is that you should, if you like Resident Evil, and especially if you didn't really care for the direction that 7 and 8 took it, you probably like this one. The game took me about 9 hours, which is ironic considering it's Resident Evil 9.
No.
I couldn't put it down. From the moment I started it, and then I had a lot of things going on this weekend, but it was kind of like anytime I had a moment where something wasn't going on, I was playing Resident Evil. And
yeah,
it does a really good job of balancing between the two, because it is just the two characters you see in the trailer. So it's just the new character, Grace Ashcroft, and it is Leon. It's not a complete 50-50 split, and it is split up in specific sections of the game. So you'll play.
How much would you say compared to how much do you play of Grace versus Leon?
I'd say it's 60 Grace and 40 Leon is what I would say.
That's not bad. That's really not. When you're introducing her as a character now to him, that's a good mix.
I feel like you play more as her. It does have a significant shift at a certain point in that game. So you play a good chunk as him, and then very much towards the very end of the game, you shift your focus back to her for a chunk, and then the very end you play as him. So,
gotcha. Okay, that's not bad.
As far as the story goes, so it starts with you playing. It starts just like the trailer, whereas you're playing as Grace Ashcroft. You are the daughter of that character from the Resident Evil Outbreak series. They tie it into that in a pretty good way. She works for the FBI. She is asked to go back to the hotel where her mom was killed. And she didn't have all the answers at the time of why her mom was killed. Her mom was caught up in a government conspiracy. And so she never got all the answers as to why this happened. When her mom was killed, there was a big fire at this hotel. So this hotel is completely trashed when you're at it. It's the perfect environment to start a Resident Evil game, is what I would tell you. And it's very much it reminds me, the way this game is set up, it kind of reminds me of Resident Evil 6, and Resident Evil 6 really tried to give you okay, Leon's campaign is the horror one, Chris's campaign is the action one, and so on. It's very much like that. Everything you do as Grace is very much grounded in horror.
Okay.
Traditional Resident Evil. Leon is very action heavy. It's not obviously there's a million TikToks out there of Leon doing roundhouse kicks and smashing people's faces.
Yeah, I saw a clip of him parrying a rocket with his little hand axe. I was like,
his
dang.
hand axe is amazing. It's not as crazy as those TikToks make it sound. It is action heavy. There is one really ridiculous sequence, which I'll talk about in a minute, that reminds me of the best of the stupid moments of this franchise. I mean, this is a franchise where you literally battled inside of a volcano and punched a boulder at one point. So they don't have a problem with ever taking things too stupid. The way they explain stuff. So there are a lot of crazy things in this game and where they're going with it. I appreciate how far it has its head up its own ass with that stuff. So for example, as Grace, you have the ability with this syringe thing to pick up blood from enemies after you kill them.
Okay.
And you can use that blood to craft ammo. Exactly. Your face was exactly when I first saw it. I'm like,
Okay.
How the fuck does that work? And
that doesn't make sense, but
they
okay.
have their bullshit. They have their bullshit explanations for how that exists and how that works in this universe.
Okay.
It's really fucking dumb. And
Okay.
It involves some real bullshit science, but it's a thing. And that leads into one other real bullshit part of it that I'll get to in a minute, but involving everything that's going on. So the major beats of this game are obviously she's kind of on her mission to find out what happened to her mom, doing this thing for the FBI because that's where she works. Leon is in the game because what's revealed, and it's revealed early on in the game, he is suffering from, I don't remember the technical term they call it, but it's like Raccoon City survivors virus or something. It's basically what it is anybody that was in Raccoon City that was exposed to the T virus at that time.
Right.
Now 30 years, almost 30 years later, is suffering from effects of that, where like they have parts of their skin that are discolored, like they're rapidly going to die if they don't find a cure for this.
So essentially like radiation type thing.
Kind of, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so his whole point is he's trying to find what's going on with that and like find a cure. His handler on the phone with you or on the intercom with you is Sherry Birkin from Resident Evil 2, because of course she has the same issue. She was there.
Right.
That is really the only other character that is in this game. There is mentions because obviously it's shown in the trailer. You go back to Raccoon City at one point. So you pick up different Easter eggs of different characters. You go back to the police station. It's one of the best parts of the game. They even play the original music. That part of the game is very much like the part of Metal Gear Solid 4 where you return to Shadow Moses. Like that's how it's played. It's really good. It's really well done. So the first half of this game is you do cross paths with Leon. You do switch places with him. He ends up going to the same facility that you go to, and he's being chased by the same person that is chasing Grace. And they get split up in this facility. So then a very big chunk of the game you're playing is Grace. It then shifts perspective to him. And they kind of do this flip flop throughout the game. But it's mostly balanced. Like you're going to play a long section as her, and then something's going to happen. You're going to play as him. And then like obviously story beats, things get a little more wild. You start to unravel like what's going on here. You do this. So the sillier aspects of this game, and this is where it gets, if you think collecting the blood and creating bullets is bullshit. So
I mean, it sounds amazing, to be honest with you.
And I'm skipping ahead a little bit here, but you get to a point where when you get through the first part of this game and you're kind of done at this facility and you're getting ready to leave, there is something that happens that basically that Grace chick is like, I'm done. I'm going to be out and done with this. I don't want anything to do with this anymore. When that happens, this fucking door opens.
Okay. And
in walks, what I can only tell you is it's Wesker. Like it's straight up a dude that looks like Wesker smoking a cigarette. Says his name is Zeno. So he refers to himself as Zeno. What is explained in this game later on through Spencer, which is the original guy that made the T-Virus, did all these things, is that they found a way to transfer through blood from what they consider an exceptional host to the T-Virus memories to another exceptional host. So essentially this Zeno guy is the easiest way I can explain it is it's a clone of Wesker. But it's not a perfect clone. That's why you see him, like he's smoking, and like that's not something Wesker would have really ever done.
Right.
This guy's like a chain smoker. It's bullshit. Like I said, I appreciate how far up this game's own ass it goes. Where I'm just like transferring memories through blood. Like, what are we doing? But
a lot of this deals with blood. It sounds like so. That kind of a lot of blood
in this game. This game is very gory. Like more than I expected. One of the cool things is like when you so the blood, you can craft guns and stuff. You can also craft things that you can put in syringes. One of the things that you put in a syringe, if you go up behind an infected and you stab them with it, they will literally fucking explode. And it is gory. It literally, like when you plug it into them, their entire head just like pops like a melon. You see it inflate and just their whole body, boom.
That's fantastic.
It's like that scene. It's like that scene from The Monkey when that body hits the wall. Like it's literally that. It's just
oh
boom.
gosh. Now I want to play it just for that.
It's very well done. There's stuff like that that's really cool in the game. Also, I'll say so. Like, and we'll get to it in the news, but like PSSR 2.0 is out. They're slowly rolling it out for the PS5 Pro. This is the first game that takes advantage of it. This is the first time I can confidently tell you, in the years that we've done this podcast now, this game is worth playing on a PlayStation 5 Pro.
Well, good.
Looks utterly incredible. Like it is ridiculous how good this game looks. I played it. So on a Pro, you can either play it at 60 frames with ray tracing or 120 frames, which is probably variable without ray tracing. I've never been a believer in ray tracing. This game made me a believer in ray tracing. Like it looks ridiculous, the lighting. So the game shifts focus then to Leon. He has to go back to Raccoon City. The first half of this game takes place in a town called Renwood, which has never been in a Resident Evil before, as far as I know. The second half
didn't sound like it.
Is, I got to go back to Raccoon City. So you have that part of the game. That's where you get some of the sillier stuff. I don't know if you've seen the TikToks of him fighting the giant spider. Fuck that thing, by the way.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That thing sucks. That's the one part of the game I really didn't like. So they do these really cool things in that sequence of the game, because basically it's not an open world game. It's very much a guided experience, but you're running around like apocalyptic Raccoon City that a nuke went off in, right? There is a really cool sequence where you're scaling a skyscraper that is sideways, and you get to a point where a bunch of infected are going to attack you, and you can shoot the glass out underneath them and they can fall through, but you can also fall through if you're not careful, because they'll crack the glass.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Okay.
Like it's a really cool thing that like I would have never thought to see in a Resident Evil game. And then 5 minutes later, you have the most ridiculous part of the game, which is a motorcycle chase sequence with Leon driving up and down broken skyscrapers, making ridiculous jumps, making some crazy shots that wouldn't even be humanly possible with his gun. Like it goes like, and it's as over the top as I would expect, considering where this franchise has gone before. That's probably, I will say, this game is a lot more grounded than other Resident Evils. That's probably the most over the top part outside of the giant spider, which I hate that thing. The game ends with, so the whole thing is they're searching the guy that you're working with, the guy that you're going against outside of Xeno is a guy named Victor Gideon. He is one of the original scientists that worked on the T-virus with Spencer. He's kind of this weird, like, he's a big hulking character. He's the guy you see in the trailers that has that like weird goggles on. That's that character.
Okay.
And he keeps talking about his master. And like I said, immediately when he started saying that, I'm like, it's got to be Wesker, right? Like at this point, it's been long enough. You can find a bullshit way to bring that guy back, which they did. The end of this, and the whole point is they're looking for this thing called Elpis, which they believe is going to be like the ultra version of the T-virus. And the only person that has the password is Grace, because it's revealed that during the entire part that you're in that facility, you find a room with this little girl that's locked in it.
Okay. And
so you have to release her. And the whole time you're trying to figure out like who this little girl is, what it is. And she's a carrier for the T-virus. So you find out later that in like, I think it's 1990, they were doing experiments on little girls. There's a really, I will say like, there's not one moment of the game where I was like, oh, that's scary. But there are a couple of moments in this game that are really creepy. There is one sequence early in the game where there is a female infected that kind of sings. If you get too close to her, she, sings loudly, kind of like the witch from Left 4 Dead. Okay. It's creepy. It has a real creepy vibe to it. I dug it because it was the first time in a Resident Evil game in a while where I was like, that's kind of actually creepy. Like, usually it's just so over the top bombastic. And then there's this sequence where when you remember, because what happens is you find out the thing that your mom was hiding at the beginning of the game is related to you. You are the one person from this lab that was able to grow up.
Oh.
You are the person they were cloning all these other little girls, including the one that you were trying to save. So they do a flashback sequence where you play as you younger because Xeno or Wesker is telling you what happened on this night. So you play through that sequence. It's very creepy.
Okay.
Because you have to deal with all these other clones of yourself that are bald and have red eyes, and they're all children, and the children are just killing people. And it's fucked up.
Sounds like a Dead Space.
They literally just like the first thing is like there's literally like you walk into this room and one of the doctors or scientists or whatever is like being bombarded by these little girls, and they just fucking snap this dude's neck and then turn around with their red glowing eyes. I'm like, okay, this is kind of creepy.
Nope. I need to leave this room now.
So that's one of the big reveals in the game is like that's how this character ties into the larger aspect. And you can learn like your mother really wasn't your mother, but she was trying to save you from all this. You do have the password to unlock this Elpis thing. This game actually gives you a choice at the end. You can either choose to open the container that has this Elpis thing and free it, or destroy it. Destroying it is the bad ending. The game ends. So you want to free it because Elpis isn't a ultra version of the T-virus. It's actually the cure. So what happens is when it's released, your buddy, the kids on the internet refer to him as Timu Wesker, which I think is funny. He takes it, ejects himself, and it basically removes all his I should mention that. I didn't mention that too. He has all the Jesus Wesker powers.
Oh,
so
okay.
like when Leon meets him, he's doing all the dodges and stuff when he's trying to shoot him. So it's like this dude's clearly Wesker or a clone of him.
Or a clone.
They never definitively say that. It's just left for your interpretation. But that has to be where it is, right? He injects himself with that, thinking it's the mega ultra version of the T-virus or whatever, and it removes all his powers. So then that Victor Gideon guy gets pissed off and ends up killing him. And that is your final boss of the game, is that guy transforms into a mess of a T-virus monster. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's big. And Leon kills him and takes him out. After that happens, the game ends with Chris Redfield's team coming to save you out of there. But Chris Redfield is never shown. They just mention him. But they clearly are setting up the next Resident Evil you're going to be playing as Chris Redfield. Like that's 100% where the direction is.
Okay.
Trying to think if there's any other big overall I loved every minute of the game, like through and through. They have a couple silly moments here and there for sure, but like it made me like I'll say this, I'm not a Leon fan. I've never been a Leon fan. I've always thought he's the character they've overused in this franchise.
Yeah.
This is easily his best game.
Well,
he has this real old man gritty attitude through the entire game that really works. That axe is fucking amazing. You can literally just sharpen that thing on the fly. That's a mechanic. Like he'll literally pull out the little thing and and then just keep hacking away. His intro sequence, which I put in my review video because it's so good, is amazing. It's one of the best intros I've seen in a character in a long time. It's basically when you get to the point where you're playing as him, he's looking for that Grace Ashcroft character. He rolls up, and that guy, that Victor Gideon guy, is walking out of this building with him, with like that girl thrown over his back, and they kind of lock eyes, and he's like, well, fuck, there she is, or whatever, and he gets out of his car. That dude just starts shooting people with this like pistol thing that has the virus, and it just starts turning people into zombies and creating this fucking insane chaos that you have to run through. And
that's wild.
It's fucking crazy.
Okay.
You literally, and that's where you first start using that axe. The other thing that's really cool in the game, it's never said that this is who this character is, but it's very obvious. The character of Hunk makes an appearance. You fight and kill him as Leon.
Oh.
Because he makes an appearance. He clearly has the mask on and everything. And it's like, I've wanted to meet you for a while, Mr. Kennedy, or whatever his dumb line is. And they start fighting. And it's an axe. You fight with the hatchets. And it's really good. And then you just fucking kill him. And I'm like, okay, I guess if that was Hunk, he's dead now.
He's dead now.
But I'll say if that was Hunk, it's a good end for that character.
Okay.
The other thing that's really good, this is the last thing I'll say about as far as spoiler stuff. When you are at the Raccoon City Police Department, there's a really good moment with that Xeno character when you first like have a meetup with him as Leon, where he makes the comment like, I don't have time to spare for you. And he like snaps his fingers or whatever. And the floor caves through. And it's just a new version of Mr. X from Resident Evil 2. and that's your boss fight. You have to fight Mr. X again.
Oh, great.
The T-Virus guy. And it's great.
Nice.
It's great. Because it's literally that like fucking Danny Glover Lethal Weapon. Like, I'm too old for this shit. Like, I've seen you before. I don't want to deal with you again. Like, It's good. It's really well done. So overall, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Ironically, I loved it. It is a masterclass of a game. Right now it's early in the year, but it's my front runner for game of the year right now. I'm sure that'll change. We can end spoilers for Resident Evil. I'm done spoiling it, so
nice.
I'll make a note of it here. But the next time we record, I'll probably have played a little bit of Crimson Desert. That's my next game. So I will say, with that being said, the only other thing I've looked at outside of simulator games, I'm not going to waste time talking about that right now, is I have not played more, but I've seen more High on Life 2 being played.
Nice.
That game is a buggy mess.
Oh gosh.
It has like I've seen them firsthand. My wife has talked to me about them now. It is a buggy mess of a game at times. Like and like she told me today, she's at the end. She's probably playing the end of it right now as we record. But she told me today, she said, I like the game. It's not as good as the first one, and it just has a lot of problems. Like, there's a puzzle literally right now she cannot solve because it's not spawning something she needs to use in the game.
Oh god.
There are graphical glitches in the game because I'm pretty sure it's an Unreal game, and Unreal has those kind of problems. When I originally started the game before Resident Evil came out, I had that issue where I was fighting that boss and he just wasn't appearing, but he was clearly talking. Like I said, there's a mess of issues with it. They have patched it once. I hope they patch it again. But that's what she told me. She's like, it's good. I don't think it's as good as the first one, and it needs some work. So, that's basically what I've been playing though. There hasn't been much more. So I will kick it over to you.
Well, I haven't played too much anything really. I did try out this new game called Leafy Corner. It's in a playtest right now. You run a plant shop. That's really it. I mean, it's kind of therapeutic, to be honest with you. It's not as in detailed as a simulator game would go, which I'm actually kind of okay with, because sometimes I don't want to go too deep into them. Yeah. But you essentially grow plants and sell your plants to people and just kind of move on. And nothing really crazy, but it looks like it could be a lot of fun whenever it drops. Just kind of one of those things.
Does it have any kind of date or anything, or is it just whatever?
I don't think so right now. Right now, I don't think so. I think if I remember seeing it, they didn't have anything. Hold on, I could tell you in 2 seconds. Nah, Q3 of 2026 is when it's got a release date. So, but like I said, it's not bad. It's kind of basic, and I actually kind of enjoy it being kind of basic. You just buy pots, you put your plants in it, and you sell them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I have played a little more of Reanimal, not too much, because unfortunately I can't play it when my youngest is awake because
too scary.
He does not like the guys in it, and I can understand, because right now there was one that's just haunting now.
It's from the same people as Little Nightmares, so that I would
but their monster details are so good, man. Like, it's just so good. I decided, because right now, I don't know if anybody else is having this problem, but Arc Raiders has been crashing every single game I've played. So I have not played that in a week and a half, I would say.
It's been like almost a month since I played it, to be fair.
Yeah, well, it's kind of taken me out. So I've just started playing random other things. I went back to Night Rain. So I've been doing some more matches in that. Fantastic. Still such a good game. And I went back to...
Did you ever get that DLC for it or no?
I did. I didn't actually buy the DLC for it. I haven't gotten through a good bit of it. Like, I just unlocked the 2 new characters. They're not bad, but like... when you find the person you really like, you really don't want to play as anybody else.
With those games,
Yeah. So I'm stuck playing as the archer because he's the guy I've played with the most, and he's the guy I know the most about. So I just kind of stuck with him. I've been trying to actively play as other people, but it's just getting down their moves and what weapons work best with them and everything like that. So it's actually a little bit more difficult than it is. But I like the DLC so far. You're right now, there's like a couple of different modes you can play, but I'm kind of just stuck on trying to beat the boss, like the bosses that I haven't beat yet. And then I went back to Apex Legends recently. That game is chaos.
As in dried up?
No, it's still kind of going. They're actually doing which is funny because one of my best friends is a real big Gundam guy, and they actually have a Gundam event dropping. I think it's next week, where there's like 4 or 5.
That's cool.
Like 4 or 5 Gundams that are releasing as skins for certain characters.
That's neat.
It actually looks really cool. I think I might pick it up whenever that drops to kind of just see what it's about. I'm not big Gundam, but I always thought Gundams looked really cool.
They look cool.
So like, it's really cool to see. The trailer that they dropped for it was actually really well done. So it's actually kind of exciting to see what they get into. All in all, it still plays really well. Like I said, it's just a lot of chaos because I feel like the maps that they have right now are too. I'm not even going to say too big, but there's just too much happening, which kind of causes a little more chaos. So it's not really if you're not playing on certain ones, it's kind of like it's a lot more to handle, and it kind of stinks because, like, of course, playing games like that, you have to have a teammate who actually knows what they're doing or actually wants to drop with you. It doesn't want to put you in the middle of everything firefight wise. So we'll see what happens. I also did play another demo that dropped for Hosey. It's it's kind of like the unpacking game that Dan talked about a while back.
I'm familiar.
The only thing I have is, so the playtest dropped on that a couple months ago, and I downloaded that because I was like, I want to give it a shot. But the demo and the playtest are the exact same level, so it's kind of like, why? Maybe like you should have put a different level, or maybe different things you could do on this one. So we'll see what happens. All in all, I think it's a good game. It's a good, like, cozy type game to play whenever you want to go down. I showed my wife it, and she's really interested in it. So we'll see if she plays that, because right now she wants me to buy that leaf blower simulator game because she wants to blow leaves around.
Yeah, I was initially really excited about that game when it dropped because I'm sick in the head for the simulator games.
You really are.
Its early reviews were not very good, so I kind of backed off on it.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for
a game that's been out long enough that it has enough patches. So when it's the right, like, $10-ish, because this isn't a $20 game.
It is a $20 game right now.
It's like $10 on Steam is when I would be like, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm waiting for it to drop. I think it's only dropped. I think the lowest it's been is like $14.99. And so I haven't, like you're in the same boat. Like, I haven't pulled the trigger on it because, like,
10 is my, like, probably do that.
Yeah, 10 is where I think I'd be okay to buy it because, like you said, I haven't, like, the reviews right now are mixed, but I mean, it just looks like it could just be a fun random simulator game to play. But we'll wait until it drops to see.
Like kind of similar to like Power Wash, but I don't think it'll be as polished.
Not at all. Yeah, maybe like you said, maybe they can drop some updates and fix whatever's going wrong with it. But
yeah,
we'll see. We'll definitely see. But yeah, that's all I've played this week.
The only thing, like, I wanted to play, I had downloaded and intended to play the beta for Marathon. It just didn't happen. Like, the one night that it was like, Eric or whatever and I were gonna try and run a couple matches of it. It didn't work out. So
yeah,
and I really wanted to try it because, like, the buzz around that game has actually been really positive, and shockingly, because obviously that game was marred with a lot of controversy. And I mean, I'm glad it came out. Bungie really needs a win at this point.
Yeah, so, I mean, I haven't heard anything really bad about it.
I haven't
so
either.
far.
The only thing I've heard negative a little bit about it is issues with its battle pass.
Yeah,
it has one, but that's kind of whatever. But I am definitely, I would say I'm interested in the game.
I think for me, I would be interested in it.
But I also feel like it's one of those kind of games where obviously Sony is pushing it hard because they own Bungie, and it's going to end up on Plus in 6 months after it's done its initial like, okay, we've gotten the audience we can get at $40. Now it's thrown on PlayStation Plus and get everybody else.
We can. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Like,
so that's why I'm hesitant to dive into it.
Yeah, I think I'll wait to see what it's like whenever it's got a little bit more time under its belt.
I feel like that's like in August, like around that time.
I could do that.
Okay, it's the dust has settled. We can throw that on Plus or something.
Yeah, and if they do, I'll definitely give it a shot then. I just don't... Yeah. Not tying myself into another extraction shooter game. Arc Raiders has a hold on me, and I'm just going to continue to fight with it and hopefully play it whenever it updates and corrects the problem I'm having.
But yeah, that can wrap up what we've been playing. We can get into the news. We got breaking news as of today, which I thought this headline was funny. That's why I put it in here. Nintendo is suing the U.S. government over the tariff situation. So obviously, and we're not going to turn this into some huge political thing because it's not our... That's not our C here at this podcast, to be fair. But obviously, we know that like it went to the Supreme Court and everything was determined that a lot of these tariffs were not done correctly, legal, whatever.
Yeah.
And basically, Trump's use of unprecedented use of International Emergency Economic Powers Act was illegal. Following the Supreme Court decision, Trump introduced a new 10% global tariff rate. Basically, what Nintendo is firing back and saying is that the tariffs that were imposed directly affected the launch and the delay of the launch of the Switch 2. It clearly did. We all knew that at the time. Like,
you could
easily figure that out. And so basically, Nintendo is suing the U.S. government because they want that tariff money back with interest. They're not the only company to do this right now. There's a bunch of major companies that are doing this as well. But I'm not surprised that Nintendo is throwing their hat in the ring because that did really seriously jam up their launch plans for that system.
I mean, Nintendo sues everybody, so I'm not shocked that they decided to sue the government.
I'm not either.
Not at all.
But I found the headline it's just funny to read the headline. Nintendo is suing the U.S. government.
Right.
It's a funny headline to read out loud. Obviously, we talked at length last time we recorded about all the stuff happening at Xbox, change of the leadership. The original Xbox creator, Seamus Blackley, has come out and basically said from his standpoint, he feels like the new person that was put in place is there to sunset the Xbox brand. That's something that we've discussed at length here.
Yeah.
I do think, like, I will say, and this is, I guess I'll jump ahead a little bit because this is another thing that happened here recently too. I think it was yesterday. They came out and announced that the next Xbox is called Project Helix. And that they are going to be unveiling some stuff about it, I think, at CDC next week.
Okay.
I don't think it's like, hey, here's the new console and this is what it looks like, but it seems like it's going to have its ideas of what they're pitching, which right now they are pitching a console that plays both Xbox and PC games. And so automatically people, then jump and say, oh, that means Steam. I don't think Steam is going to be a part of it. And the reason why, and I hate to burst that bubble for a lot of people, because there are a lot of people that automatically think, oh, Steam will be a storefront on this thing. I don't think it's going to happen, at least not right away, because if that were true, Steam wouldn't be trying to put out their own Steam box. What would the point of trying to get people to buy that when you could just buy this? You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that it will never happen, but I don't think that that's the storefront that's going to be on here. I think it might be like Epic Games Store or something like that.
I could see that.
I mean, with that being said, I don't care about what they're doing. To be honest, like, I'm so far off the Xbox train now. I've said it at length on the channel. I've said it on length on the podcast. I don't see any way in which this person could turn the ship around in a way that would please everyone. I don't see, as much as a lot of people are saying like, oh, they're going to turn around, they're going to start making games exclusive again. I don't see it happening. They make way too much money putting these games elsewhere. They're not going to stop doing that because a couple people on the internet will be happy. Like that's not a good business decision, you know? The Discord thing. How much do you know about the Discord thing?
Can we just be done with it? Like, come on now. Why are you making me scan my ID for access to Discord? I don't need that.
So it's been delayed because of the backlash.
Thank God.
Will it happen? I don't know.
I feel like it. I feel like it doesn't. Like, I get it. I fully understand what you're trying to do. Don't get me wrong. I agree. Children need to be protected at all costs. But I will say this: like, there has got to be a better way of doing it. Like, I would go as far as to like let you swipe my card for a penny to be okay with showing that I have like access, like I'm an adult that with a
or
valid
something.
debit card. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like asking me to verify by putting my ID, not doing it. Like at that point, I'll just delete the app because I don't need it that bad. Like, people who I talk to on Discord, I have their phone number. I can chat with them if I really feel like it. I don't I don't need to be in the Discord for my favorite streamer to like talk to other people who like the stream. I don't need that in my life because I already have enough to deal with it. So it's like, I get what you were trying to do, but I think you're not handling it the way that's appropriate for this day and age, and the amount of information and data leaks we're consistently going through. So it's like, no, you got to think of something different. You got to think of a better way of doing this, because the way you put it out already made me sit there and go, it looks like I'm deleting Discord.
It looks like I'm not. There's a lot of people. Like, I guess I'm done using Discord. Yeah. So it's a dumb thing. Like, it's been delayed. I hope it's just one of those, we're delaying this indefinitely, you know, kind of a thing.
I mean, like I said, I understand I definitely understand the thought process behind you doing it. It's just, you have got to think of a different method of doing it. Like, there's got to be a different way of you pushing safety out for minors, because don't get me wrong, I am fully 100% on board
100%.
with that. Like, I don't even, like, my kid doesn't even have a social media account anywhere to like have access to anything like that. And I think if you're under the age of 18, you really don't need one.
You don't need one.
I'm a different parent than every other parent, and I understand why, you know, like, I get it. It's just, there's got to be a different way of doing it. You've got to have a different thought process behind it. Like, it's just not worth it.
100% agree. As I alluded to it earlier, PS5 Pro is getting that PSSR2 update. It kind of is out a little bit with Resident Evil. It'll be fully implemented at the end of March. The next game that's going to fully take advantage of it is Crimson Desert, so I'll be able to speak if maybe a second game is worth getting a Pro for.
Warranting a PS5 Pro? Come on, seriously.
I am really excited to play Crimson Desert, so I really hope that game's good. I've looked at it for a long time, and then maybe like a week ago, I was like, I think I'm just going to do it. Like, I don't have any other. The next major game I have outside of this would be Bond, and that's not till May, so
that makes
sense. Time. I'm totally okay with some huge open world game for a little while.
Yeah.
But that thing's going to be fully implemented sometime this month here towards the end of it, so long time coming. But I will say, like, when they first announced it, it was kind of an eye roller for me. Like, how much is this really gonna like make this system better? But Resident Evil made me a believer that technology has definitely vastly improved. So we'll see what it does for Crimson Desert and other games in the future. Hopefully, Bond's one of those games as well. So Ubisoft brought out a lot of information about Assassin's Creed, the future of Assassin's Creed, the other day. They did lose the creative director of their new Assassin's Creed they're working on, Assassin's Creed Hex. That game's actually been in development longer than I thought. They did also finally they did also finally confirm the worst kept secret, which is that the remake of Black Flag is in development. It's called Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. It's probably, I don't think it's said in the article, but I would assume it could maybe be ready by this fall. And then the other thing they did was they put out a 60 frame patch for Assassin's Creed Unity. So if you have a Series X or you have a PS5, you can now play the game at 60 frames if you've never played. I never played Unity or Syndicate. I
didn't really care for either one of those. Like Unity was hot garbage. Yeah.
I loved Black Flag because it was a pirate game, and I thought that was awesome. And I played the shit out of that game. That was the last one I played until they rebooted it, sort of with what Assassin's Creed is with Origins.
Yeah.
And then I played Origins and Odyssey, which I still think Odyssey is my favorite. And then I couldn't get into Valhalla, didn't bother with Shadows. And I'll be honest, I don't really care about Hex. So I'll play a remake of Black Flag.
Yeah, I think I feel the same way. Assassin's Creed Black Flag was pretty solid. I honestly tried to load up Odyssey the other day, but like when I jumped into the game, I was at a point where I was being chased, and I just turned it back off.
Overwhelming, and it's one of those games of like you walk away from it for a while and come back. Ooh, it's rough.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
We talked about last time that the developers of the new Skate game put out that update that's coming out that pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah.
That development team's been hit with massive layoffs.
Well,
not surprising. I don't think this Skate game has really been very successful to begin with. So,
I mean, you did a smart thing by putting it out for free. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it was. I think it was smart of you to do that. I just think you're not playing into what people want properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, they risk being the next thing that we're going to talk about, which is Highguard is officially shutting down on March 12th.
Man, that game was so good, dude. Like,
there's less than 20 people left on that team.
I don't get it, man.
What
game
of
the year right there. Okay.
What
game
a disaster. I hope, like, I would have hoped the industry would have learned their lesson with Concord, that this is not the type of game that people want at this point. And Highguard is just another example of that. Like, this is not the type of game that people are looking for anymore.
Dang, it released January 26th. That's crazy.
It made it out less than 45 days.
Golly. That's wild.
It's not truly a Concord, like it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a week and getting pulled off the shelves or anything. But it's.
I still don't understand. Like
a second.
Like Concord, when I saw the trailer for it, man, it looked so cool. Like the idea behind it.
Until they showed you what it was, yeah.
And then I was like, "What are we doing?" You know, I still think a game where like you get to play as cops and robbers is going to be an efficient type of multiplayer game. I just need someone to do it correctly. Like, give me an opportunity like that where it's like literal cops versus robbers. I'd play that game like it's crazy. It's just you got to make it. These two games were just not it. Highguard, like I said, I didn't even get into the match of Highguard before. I was just like, this is not good. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. We have one of our coworkers that actually has been playing Highguard like crazy, and I need to ask him when we go back to work to how he feels about Highguard being dropped off.
Well, he's got less than a week.
Less than a week, my guy.
Sony is apparently pulling out of doing PC ports and going back to just making everything exclusive to the PlayStation platform. So that means things like Saros, Wolverine will probably not come to PC. I think their PC ports just haven't been as successful as they wanted them to be. And I think that a lot of that is like the PlayStation install base is very big, like very large. So unless they were putting these games out day and date with PC, I don't think it really matters as much as they were hoping it does.
Not at all. I don't really think so. I mean,
I don't
we'll
think
see
it's
what happens.
I personally don't think it's a bad thing. Like, I could see the argument, you're going to have the PC only crowd will be upset, but I don't see it as a bad thing. I would like to look at a PlayStation box again that simply says only on PlayStation.
Right. I mean, I hear you, definitely. I understand that as well. It's just, we'll see how it works.
Obviously, last week we talked about Blue Point Studios being shut down, which nobody likes. It was a bad move by Sony. But now it has come to light that a Bloodborne remake was pitched by Blue Point and Sony was down to do it, but From Software said no. So, and I mean, From Software would have to agree to it, obviously. So,
yeah.
Wild. So now I can definitively tell you that the Bloodborne remake will never happen.
No, not at all. Not anymore.
So we can finally put to bed the memes and like the things I see every time there's a Sony State of Play. Oh, the Bloodborne, like it's not going to happen.
It'd be too funny if the next Sony State of Play they drop a book.
Right? Looks like it is leaked that Starfield is finally going to release on PS5 on April 7th. Some sort of like equivalent to a Game of the Year edition, so it'll have the DLC. The rumor is that it'll be $50. I think that's the right price point for a game that's 3 years old. I've said before, like, I won't get it at launch, but I would totally play through Starfield again. I get why people had problems with it, but I really enjoy the game. Let's see. I put this in here just because I think it's funny. I don't think it really needs to be said. I think most people with common sense could watch the Castlevania trailer and deduce that it'll be a traditional Castlevania game. But Konami had to come out and state Castlevania Belmont's Curse, when it releases later this year, will be a traditional Castlevania experience. I do think maybe some people got confused because it's from the maker of Dead Cells, that it might be a roguelike thing, but it's not. It'll be a traditional game. So
I think that, no offense, I think that'd be kind of dumb on their part to do that. Agreed.
100%. It wouldn't fit for Castlevania. The only time that worked, there's a great, it's unfortunate Dan's not here because he can speak to it. There's a great Castlevania game that came out on the 360 arcade, Harmony of Dissonance, which was a multiplayer game. It is a complete 2D multiplayer, like Symphony of the Night style, where you start at different points of the map, and then you meet in the center of the map to fight a boss. You can play as different Castlevania characters.
That's not bad.
The game is amazing. I played the shit out of that game. I wish they would do something like that again. I really, really enjoyed that game. That's the only time they've really done, I would consider that kind of a roguelike thing, but...
You know what? Watching the trailer for this now, I would consider playing this one.
Which is that, Castlevania?
Yeah.
Oh, the game looks amazing.
It looks really clean.
I cannot wait. It's the right way to reintroduce that series when you haven't made a new one in like 15 years.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way too.
They had to come out and say that the KOTOR remake is still in development, so we haven't seen anything about that Knights of the Old Republic remake in quite some time. But it is apparently still in development. But in our final news article, which I think is even funnier, remember Abandoned, the game that we love to make fun of for PlayStation? It was a game that looked like it was like a Kojima, like either a Kojima prank game or some sort of slop game that was trying to be a Kojima prank game. Apparently it is still in development. Announced today. Still working on it. I don't know, man. That was my response. I don't know, man. Crazy. Just crazy. Before we kick over to movies and TV stuff, we can talk about our game recommendations for the week. So my game recommendations for the week are obviously Resident Evil 9. I love it. But also, I do think if you want to play the game and you're not like me and have played through the 2 remake like 100 times, you should play the remake of 2.
Okay.
Especially because of the whole sequence where we return to Raccoon City, return to the police department. I think for somebody like me who's played through that game 100 times, I didn't need to replay it again before this came out.
Right.
But for somebody that might not be as invested in the franchise, I think it would definitely be worth it to replay that game.
Okay. I could do that. You know, I sit on that. I sit on that remake of Resident Evil 2. It's downloaded on my Xbox, and I was like,
excellent remake.
Maybe I should play this one again.
Both 2 and 3 are excellent remakes. I mean, again, controversial. I'm not a huge fan of Resident Evil 4, but that remake is a solid remake of 4.
It's nice
for what it is. But 2, I would say, especially, like 100% worth it.
Okay.
Those are my recommendations.
I said you should play Tenchu. Only reason I was thinking about that is because of that Yako Shinobi Ops game. I mean, one day I really hope one day I get a remake of it. Like, I'd be completely and ecstatically happy. I mean, they gave me a new Onimusha this year, so I'm really hoping maybe I'm like pushing my ideas out into the world where they give me a Tenchu remake. But I've been looking at this Yako Shinobi Ops game, and I really want to hope that it's good. I just love the way it looks because it literally does remind me of the old Tenchu game, and I feel like now I need to pull out my old PS1 and drop that on and see what it's about. But I just remember having so much fun with it when I was younger, so I say give it a shot. If you haven't played it, I'm pretty sure you can emulate it somewhere.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, very much so.
There are ways to do that on the internet.
They're so good, man. So good.
We can kick into movies and TV. So I've watched 2 major movies. A good one and a bad one. I will go as far as to say a great one and a bad one. So after watching that Luc Besson's Dracula, looking through my shelf of stuff, I realized I have not ever watched Nosferatu from 2024, which is crazy that I haven't gotten to it. I've literally had that sit on my shelf for a year. And I will say, like, I'm glad I watched it after I watched that Luc Besson Dracula. It is an amazing movie. It's probably my favorite version of Dracula and Nosferatu are essentially the same story.
Right.
It's just Nosferatu is like the way they were able to make a Dracula movie without calling it Dracula at the time to avoid copyright.
That makes sense.
And there's been different interpretations of Nosferatu as well. This one, definitely a different interpretation. This is probably my favorite. Since then, it cannot eclipse the 92 Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's my favorite of any of them. That movie is amazing.
Okay.
This one, it hinges upon both in how it looks, how it is filmed. And I expected this going in because it's the guy that did The Witch, The Lighthouse, the Northman, which I haven't seen. This guy it's either Robert or Roger Eggers. I forget what his first name is. I think it's Robert Eggers. Robert Eggers.
Mm-hmm.
He does a thing in his movies that you don't see often today where he likes to use a lot of natural light.
Okay.
And that gives movies a different feel. So like if it's a movie that's set in a different time period, a lot of things will be filmed with actual candlelight or fireplaces and stuff. And it can give the movie a real like ethereal feel that it just feels really different. It's not like normal, like a lot of times you watch these movies and everything is lit up a certain way in a scene and a shot. And I think because of that, it gives that feel in different scenes. It's also like that Bill Skarsgård guy, like outside of Pennywise, this is his best performance I've seen in anything. Like it is ridiculous how entrenched you can get into that guy's performance, especially the first part of the movie when whatever Jonathan Harker's character name is in this, because it's not Jonathan Harker, it's whatever the Nosferatu version of this character, when he shows up at the castle to do all the legal stuff for the property, that initial sequence of him meeting Nosferatu is really well done. I know after that movie came out, that Bill Skarsgård guy like ruined his vocal cords, how he lowered his voice to play this role. But it is ridiculous how he sounds in this movie. Like I can't even do it justice to even try.
I feel like that guy does a lot of method acting when he plays his roles, and I feel like that, unfortunately, is going to damage a lot of what he does. He just needs to But he does a lot of the roles I've seen him do. He's really he does them really well. So I mean, I understand, but then in the same aspect, I'm like, don't kill yourself for a role, dude. Like, you know,
I agree.
Yeah. I'll
they
definitely
do
give it a shot, though.
They do a really cool thing in it too, where like you don't really see what he looks like until probably halfway through the movie. They do a lot of the, like, you might see the side of him or you might see his hand or something, and you know he's gonna look really fucked up.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't get a full shot of what he looks like until probably about the midway point.
Okay.
It's not, I'll say this too, like the Luc Besson Dracula had a real lack of blood and bloodshed, which is a crazy thing to say about a Dracula movie. There's definitely blood in this movie, like in comparison. And the other thing is, like, there is not a single person in this movie that doesn't give their A game. Like his performance, like Willem Dafoe is incredible in this movie as the Van Helsing version of Van Helsing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Johnny Depp's daughter, Lily Rose Depp, she's really good as the Mina Harker character in this. Aaron Taylor Johnson is the character that plays the friend of Nicholas Hoult is the Jonathan Harker character. Everybody is amazing in this movie. There's not a single person I looked at and was like, oh, that person's just phoning it. It's not. Like, everybody gives 110% in this. They also, which is really cool, they tie this version into the Black Plague. And so it deals with that. Like when they finally have the event and Nosferatu gets on the ship and his ship is coming into the harbor and whatever, and it crashes, it releases a bunch of rats that carry the plague. So obviously the plague comes, does some damage. There's also Aaron Taylor Johnson's character. Some real harsh shit happens to his family in this movie that was unexpected. And if you're not, it's not for the squeamish. Let's put it that way. Yeah, like, I won't spoil it, but it was one of those things where I was like, oh, they went there and they did that. That's pretty crazy. But
not what I was expecting, but okay, I'll take it.
Like I said, definitely a different version of that story. Even the end, like I'll say this. I'm not the biggest fan of exactly how this movie ends. I think that the 92 Dracula has a better ending, but it is also not the Luc Besson of like, oh, I just decided to stop being Dracula. It's not that. Okay. So, because I thought that was absolute trash. Of just like, oh, cool, Van Helsing was able to talk him out of being Dracula. That's a new one for me. Like of all the different, many various versions of Dracula I've seen over the years. I've read that book. That's my favorite book of all time. I've read it multiple times. I've never seen it where Van Helsing has said, hey, you should probably stop being Dracula. Yeah, okay. Like, that
sounds about right. Yeah, we could do that.
Highly recommend. It's one of, like, I do wish I went to the theater. I kind of do, but it's an amazing 4K Blu-ray.
Okay.
It looks incredible. I will say, like, we were talking the last podcast when Eric was on about we've become so adjusted to streaming everything. And I have forgotten, between watching this and rewatching Twin Peaks, I'm currently rewatching Twin Peaks on disc, my box set, how much better things look on a disc.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It is ridiculous. Like, I'm watching, this is probably the first time I've watched Twin Peaks on a disc. Every time I've watched it, I've streamed it. The color alone is insane in comparison. It doesn't have that, like, washed out feel. So, yeah, highly recommended. We talked the last podcast.
Physical media is where it's at, man.
Start getting physical discs again.
Yeah, like really do. Not only that, but like me and my wife talk about it all the time. Like, eventually things are going to stop streaming, and like you're going to go through the point where you want to watch something, you're not going to have it. Like, start going to like what was it? Goodwills and like Salvation Armies and like thrift stores and stuff like that, and find some, even if it's just a regular disc versus like a regular DVD versus a Blu-ray. Like, it's always nice to have it, because guess what? You have that, and no one can take it from you. So it's like, you got to start looking up some of this stuff, because while streaming is nice and it's there and it's good to have, it doesn't beat anything but physical media. Like, it just really doesn't. So
maybe probably gonna rewatch it this week because it's been a couple years.
Yeah,
but it made me pull out my 4K I've actually not watched this 4K rip of Bram Stoker's Dracula, so every time I've watched it, it's been the Blu-ray. So probably going to rewatch it.
Yeah, man, do it.
For the first time in a while. So.
There you go.
But it made me pull. I was going to do it the other day, and it didn't happen. The other major movie I watched,
give it to me,
which is a bummer in comparison. So I have enjoyed the movies that Osgood Perkins has put out. I really like Longlegs. I really like I think The Monkey is awesome. I love that movie. I need to buy that and put it on my shelf. I like that movie a lot. So he had another movie that came out last fall called Keeper. And the story behind that movie is, while they were filming The Monkey, remember they had all the Hollywood strikes? And so they had to shut down production of The Monkey, and he was bored. He wanted to make another movie. So in order to make this movie, they had to hire people that were outside of the SAG-AFTRA. So everybody in this movie was not involved in SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah.
So that was how they were able. So that, like, because people were asking, like, how the fuck did this guy put out 2 movies in the same year? Like, that's crazy. That's how. Keeper, like, again, I say it as I like the movies that he's put out so far. Keeper is not a good movie. It has a good idea, is what I'll say. It has a thread of a good idea. I can't believe I'm saying that a movie that this guy has made is boring, but this movie is fucking boring.
Yeah.
It basically what the premise is it's, I can't remember the actress's name, but it's the lady that played She-Hulk. I think she was the mother in The Monkey as well.
Okay.
So it's her character, and she's going up to hang out with her boyfriend. They've been together, I think, for a year.
Yeah.
At this point.
It's a 1-year anniversary.
1-year anniversary. They're going to hang out up at his cabin in the woods. And just for like a romantic getaway weekend. And it gets weird. It's like they show up. There's another cabin that's directly across. Like there's a cabin. There's like this creek in between the cabin. And then behind it, there's another cabin where I believe it's his cousin lives in the other cabin. It's his cousin or his brother. I believe it's his cousin. And so they get up there, kind of have like, the beginnings of the romantic weekend, whatever. Everything seems like it's going well. There's a couple weird things that happen. And then he kind of references like, yeah, my cousin lives in the other, house across the way here, but I don't really interact with him that much. He's kind of like an odd character. I don't like what he's about. And then they're sitting down, they're eating dinner, and they get a knock at the door, and it's that cousin comes in with like, I guess we'll call her the girlfriend of the week, because they allude to this guy has a lot of girlfriends.
Okay.
And the girlfriend does not speak any English. And that's important to know. So he comes in, you can tell right away the cousin's kind of a real asshole character. And then he says to the boyfriend, like, I need to talk to you in the other room for a minute. So it leaves her and this woman who speaks no English in the same room. And that the girl, she tries to say to this other woman, like, because you can tell there's something off with this girl. And so she kind of asks her, like, hey, is everything okay with you? There's a cake that was given, and I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the movie. When they first get to the house, there's a cake that was left by the caretaker that watches after this cabin when this guy's not there. And the guy mentions it like early on, hey, we got to eat this cake later or whatever.
Yeah.
And so out of nowhere, the girl that speaks no English just looks at her and she looks at the box that has a cake in it, looks at her and says, don't eat that. It tastes like shit. Like says it in plain English. And she looks at her, she's like, what? And then she doesn't say anything else. And so then two guys come back in the room and they get ready, and her and the weird girlfriend, they leave.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately the boyfriend is then like, oh, you got to have a piece of this cake. And he's really animate. And she's like, I don't really like, he pulls out of the box, starts cutting it. And she's like, I don't really like chocolate cake. And she's like trying everything. Like, I don't want to eat this cake, but she ends up eating it, and it tastes kind of funky, but whatever. And then they end up going to bed. She wakes up in the middle of the night and is like overcome with, she needs to eat more of this cake. Goes downstairs and starts just digging through this cake like an animal and eating it. While she's digging through it, she finds fingers. This does not stop her from eating the cake. She still eats
why would it? I would still eat cake if it had fingers in it.
She's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, and just keeps eating the cake. Like that was the first part of this movie. I'm like, what is fucking going on in this? That was the first thing. I'm like, what am I watching here? Like, what is? Because this is more out there than the other movies this guy's made at this point. I don't know. So the next day she wakes up and she's kind of like a little groggy and it's kind of like, did I really do that? You know, whatever. It's important to note that her boyfriend is a doctor. He comes in and he says, hey, unfortunately, I have to go back into the city. I'm having an emergency with this patient of mine. I'm going to have to leave you here. And she's like, okay. And she starts to think that this guy has another family or something. Like, while he's gone, she's kind of like, you know, I've only been with this guy for a year. Maybe he's blowing me off. Maybe I'm the affair chick, you know, kind of a thing. And I'll jump ahead because there's a lot of dumb shit that happens. This is where I can say the boring part of the movie, where it's just kind of her trying to figure out what's going on. It's not done in a very entertaining way. What the reality of what's going on here is, there is an entity that lives in this woods that he and the cousin encountered when they were young children in the 1800s. These two people are 200 years old.
Interesting.
What they do is she is right. He does have another family with children. What he does is once a year, he has to bring a random woman up to this cabin to feed to this entity. And by doing this, the entity then extends their life. So they live longer. Like, obviously he's aging, like he's older. He's not a kid anymore, but his aging is significantly decreased. So that's like the big reveal in this movie, is that's what's actually going on. The creature is weird looking. It looks like it's made out of wax. That was the one part of the movie I liked because it looked weird. She ends up overpowering him, and then the end of this movie, I don't know why this is a thing or what it was supposed to be symbolizing, but this movie ends with she's hung this guy upside down in the woods, the boyfriend that was going to kill her, to this entity, and then she dunks his head in a jar of honey and just lets him drown in that. And that's the end of the movie. That's how the movie ends. Yeah. It's not good. I say all to say it's not good. I didn't like... There's a way in which that story could be really interesting.
Yeah, I was about to say, I see how they could go for that, but it's not done well.
It's just too all over the place. Like I said, it's only an hour and a half. A good 30 minutes of it is her stumbling around trying to figure out what's going on. It's not good. I cannot recommend it compared to like go watch The Monkey again. That's a good movie. I will say, even though I didn't like this movie and I like the other movies, I'll watch another movie this guy makes. So I think overall he makes good movies. It's just wasn't his day. Other than that, like we talked about it last time I recorded, I'm doing the one a day episode of Twin Peaks. I'm on season 2 already. The first season was a mid-season replacement show. So the first season only 8 episodes. That is an amazing way to watch that show. One a day. There's so much that happens in one episode of that show that I really feel like if you just watch one episode of it a day, you can really digest more what's going on. Because the only times that I've watched that show, I've seen the original 2 seasons 3 times, the return season twice, because immediately that aired, I watched that weekly that entire summer, and then turned around and watched it with my wife. So, okay. She's actually mad that I'm doing this because I didn't tell her. And then I got done with season 1. She's like, "What are you doing in your office every day for like an hour?" I'm like, "Oh, be watching Twin Peaks. What if I want to do that? What if I want to do that? I guess maybe next year we can do that." So probably do it again next year. But it's an amazing way to watch that show because there's just so much. It really dives into like the different people that live in that town, and like there's so many different storylines. I'd forgotten, at least in the early seasons, there's so many different storylines with different characters going on. that if you just watch an episode a day, it really gives you a chance to like process it and think about it in a better way than just binging it. So highly recommend to watch that on disc. Because like I said, it looks incredible. So, and then I really put this in here because I wanted Dan's input on it. He's not here, but my wife and I have been watching. We just finished watching The Great Food Truck Race. We watched all 18 seasons of that show. It's not it's only 6 episodes a season. So before you say,
okay, all right, that's not bad.
It's not like watching 20 seasons of Hell's Kitchen, which I have done. But I find it funny that every single one of these shows that I've watched, be it Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, this show, Top Chef, every one of these shows without fail will have a moment that just kind of breaks something about the show.
Yeah. So
like, for example, Hell's Kitchen has its infamous I ain't no bitch chef moment. Top Chef, there's a moment where in the second season of that show where there's something that happens where they play a prank on a specific contestant to the point that the showrunners had to come out and they almost ended the show of that season because of it. Each one of them has this bullshit thing. And what's crazy is The Great Food Truck Race has one of these as well. And it's like season 16, I want to say. There's an incident where there's a specific food truck and it's super awkward. And I say this because when this happens, or you think of like Kitchen Nightmares, think of Amy's Baking Company. Everybody knows that episode of that show, right?
Okay, yeah.
Each one of these shows has one of these moments.
Oh, Jesus. Throughout
its history, I'm convinced something like that is going to happen on any one of these shows that you watch. For The Great Food Truck Race, what it is there's a specific truck how that show works is it's usually about a team it's 6 or 7 different teams, and it's all they want to try out running a food truck. So they're given a truck. They're all in it to win the ability to keep the truck and win $50,000. That's the basic premise.
Yeah.
This truck on this season, all of a sudden one episode, it's like you could tell something's off with this team. Like they're not in sync with each other. They're having problems. All of a sudden at the end of this episode, the producers of the show come out and they're like, hey, we want to talk to you in the corner over here. And you're like, what's going on? So the 3 of them go over, and it's 2 ladies and a dude that run this truck. They go over and they talk about it. And it was explained earlier in this episode, like the guy that's on the truck is clashing with the lady that runs the truck. Like they're not getting along.
Okay.
They're just not agreeing on shit, right?
Yeah.
They come back after talking to the producers and they just go, so this dude's leaving the truck. He's just out. And everybody's like, what? Huh? What's going on? And even the guy that's the host of the show, he's just like, are you cool with this? And the guy just is like, he's like, did you even know this was happening? And the guy's like, I just learned of this now. Like he generally seems like he's put down, that they're firing him.
Okay.
Anyways, and it's explained to him at the end of this, like, okay, just to let you know, like this has happened on the show before where people have had to leave because of health problems and stuff. You guys are going to have to try and do this as a 2-person team. It's never been done. And that has happened every time that's happened in the history of the show, that there's been somebody that's left. That team has never won. They might have go on to make it another episode or 2 and then they bomb out because you can't run a food truck with just 2 people. It just doesn't work.
I mean, that makes sense.
So they get to the next episode. These people call in somebody from a truck that was on the same season that was eliminated. And they call this person and they're like, hey, we hired him. And I'm sitting here thinking as I'm watching, I'm like, you can't allow that. Like, this doesn't make sense. And they just fucking allow it. And it's crazy. And I'm just like, this guy's coming back after a truck he was on the team for was eliminated. And this is being acceptable. I mean, needless to say, that truck does not win this season, but like crazy. But then it got me to thinking, I'm like, every one of these shows has this one thing that's fucking crazy that happens. Every one of these cooking, like Kitchen Nightmares, Amy's Baking, like I can point to each one of them and be like, yeah, this really fucked up thing happens.
Yep.
It's crazy.
That's wild.
That's it for me in TV stuff. I will watch for the next time I record, and I will slog through Return to Silent Hill. I'm sure it's terrible, but I got to see the CGI.
I can't wait.
So I'll kick it to you.
So I have watched 2 bad Lifetime movies, but not bad like bad, but bad like as in like they're so bad they're good. And then one really just bad movie.
Just bad.
So the first movie I watched was called A Wife's Nightmare.
Okay.
This one is from 2014. It's a thriller. So it essentially starts off, this couple is getting out of their car. They've got groceries. This girl walks up to them and she's like, "Hey, do you know this person?" The dad is like, "Yeah, I remember that person from like years ago." She's like, "Well, I'm your daughter." And dude's like, "What do you mean you're my kid?" And she's like, "Well, you know, my mom always used to tell me my dad was dead, but my mom died recently, and now I was recently told you're my father." So
sounds like a Lifetime movie.
It is. It sounds just like one. So the wife and the husband already have a kid together, but he's like, you know, well, I'll take a DNA test with her. Of course, this girl's saying her mom just recently died. She's living out of her car. So then the wife's, you know, takes, I guess, feels bad for her and decides, well, you could stay with us for a little while until we figure out what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you know, they start diving into the relationship between the wife, the husband, the wife, and the son. Come to find out, this wife most recently had like a mental issue, and she was in the hospital. So she was in the hospital for a little while. And her relationship with her husband is kind of struggling. Her relationship with her son is kind of struggling because she said some stuff when she was going through her little mental hospital that she shouldn't have said to them. And however, you know, whatever happens, happens. Well, the husband, of course, is showing like affection to his daughter. And the wife is like catching little tidbits, but of course he's like, you know, well, you know, I took a DNA test and she's my daughter, so, you know, I'm just affectionate to her like I would be to any kid, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think you're thinking too much into it. And wife's like, you know, okay, sure, whatever. I'm not crazy. I know things are happening around the house that shouldn't have happened. Like, you know, one of her presentations for her project at work got deleted out of her system. She doesn't know what happened to it. She was blaming the daughter. Come to find out, it's really the husband that does it. Ultimately, what you find out is by the end of the movie, the son gets suspended from school, so he goes home to see the daughter and the dad screwing in the bedroom. Come to find out, the dad has coaxed this elaborate plan that this girl's going to be labeled as his daughter, but she's really his girlfriend. So son goes in freaking out because he's caught his dad and his sister, you know, hooking up. And mom ironically shows up at that time too. Dad comes out. Whole thing goes crazy and chaotic. So bad it was actually pretty entertaining. Like the whole story is wild, but
it reminds me of that. I do not recommend this movie because it's terrible. But there was that. It should have been a movie, but it was a Netflix special called Obsession. You ever heard of that?
Oh
one?
yeah.
Terrible.
It wasn't bad. Like it wasn't horrible. It's you could definitely tell it's like a Lifetime type movie.
Yeah.
And it's okay that it's like that because it's actually not bad. Not horrible.
Yeah.
I found it on Tubi. If you want to give it a watch, it's there. The second movie I watched, I saw a TikTok of it, and my wife, my wife sent me this other movie I'm about to talk to you about. I saw a TikTok of it, and at first I was like, number one, when did Candace Cameron and Fred Savage do a movie? Oh, I'll tell you, back in 1996 when they were both hot. However, crazy, it's a movie called No One Would Tell. Found it on Tubi. Essentially what happens is this Candace Cameron has a crush on Fred Savage's character. They start dating. Fred Savage becomes an abusive guy, ends up killing Candace Cameron, and he kills her at the lake, and then it takes a couple of days to figure out what happened.
So this is only a couple of years after the Wonder Years.
Yeah. I have to tell you, man, it's actually not bad. And the thing about Fred Savage, I think he's a really underrated actor. Like,
he's pretty solid.
He is very solid. Like, I remember seeing him on Boy Meets World when his character was trying to hook up with Topanga through their college times. And you really do, like, have a disdain for him as a college professor in that very short episode he's in. But he does it so well. And in this movie, he really does play the character so well, where he's sitting there telling Candace Cameron that he loves her, and he's sorry, but you're really like, this dude is a jerk. Like, stop running back to him. And it's a really good movie. Like, I have to say, if you have time, give it a watch. It's very 1996.
That's fine.
But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Yeah, dude. It's actually really... And the fact,
most people would prefer that to today's reality.
And the crazy thing about it, so, like, what really does it is, so, like, Candace's character, her mom is in a abusive relationship. And the whole time, Candace is like, I don't understand why you're letting this guy treat you like that. You're better than that, And all while her boyfriend is doing the exact same thing to her. And she's sitting here... Her friends are like, hey, are you good? Like, is everything okay? And she's like, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. He loves me. And the whole time you're just like, run, girl, run. This is a bad idea. It's a solid movie, though. And the fact that it had both of them in it made me want to watch it, because I was just like, dude, I don't even remember this movie. But apparently, like, when it first came out, a lot of, like, schools started showing it because of the story that it told, and telling people, like, if you're going through this, please say something. Like, it's not good, it's not safe, it's not healthy. So it's really cool, and that kind of made me want to watch it more. I think it's fantastic. It was a very well done 1996 movie for sure. And you can find it on Tubi, and looks like on YouTube too. So not bad.
Is it really just on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm looking it up, and it says the full movie is on YouTube.
That's crazy.
Crazy. So the next movie I ended up watching was this horrible 2024 movie called Sasquatch Sunset. Complete and utter trash. What really did it? So, like, the movie opens up with these 4 Sasquatches, and it kind of just shows you there's the mom, the dad, and there's 2 kids.
Is this animated or live action?
This is live action. These dudes are all, they're like literally in special effects, makeup, and get up for this movie. It's really strange. So it's kind of shot in like a documentary style format. They're like, the camera crew is like just kind of watching them. So it just kind of looks like it's following their life. The problem I have is these Sasquatches are acting like it's their first time being alive. Like, it's really weird because, like, they're walking around the woods, they're sniffing like mushrooms and like other animals, like they've never seen them before. So it's kind of like, where did you guys come from that makes you decide that this is the first time you've ever seen a mushroom before in your entire life?
That's a little strange.
It is. So essentially what happens is this this movie opens up with the mom and the dad having sex and the kids just watching them. And you're just kind of like,
that's a choice to open a movie with.
This is a hot take on how to open this movie. And then you find out the dad is kind of greedy. And, at one point, they're eating this fruit from this bush. Well, the dad becomes like enamored with it and pretty much shoos the family off of it. But this bush, the fruit that he's eating from it, essentially has like side effects where he's like become a big horn dog, and he tries to like essentially take advantage of the mom when she's not paying attention, but of course she like throws him off and she's like and he gets kind of put off, so he walks off.
Sorry, it doesn't sound good.
It doesn't. Dude finds a cougar in the woods
Okay.
Where he's like, oh, yeah, I'll get with this cougar, blah, blah, blah. Cougar ends up killing him, eating his body. It's, they end up finding him. Okay, cool. They take him back to their camp. They bury him. All right. Perfect. Dad's gone. Well, at one point, they're trekking through the woods. They're trying to, find a new place to live. Well, the older kid finds this log in this river, and he's on top of it, kind of like looking around on it, whatever. Ends up falling off the log and getting trapped under the log in the river. So he drowns. Well, then
Is this movie just about like the horrible deaths of this Sasquatch family?
Apparently so. And so then they end up taking him back to their camp. They end up burying him. Mom ends up giving birth to another Sasquatch.
Okay.
So then she's, taking care of the new baby. She still has a younger child with her. They're trying to find a new place. The movie ends with them going into essentially like civilization.
Sure.
And they find a log statue where it looks like a Sasquatch is built, and they're just essentially screaming at this log, trying to get him to wake up. Weirdest movie I've seen in a while. Bad. It's completely bad. I don't even know how to describe it. Like it was just a horrible, but
sounds bad.
The saving grace of this entire movie is the costumes that were used were fantastic.
Look good.
They look
fantastic.
Actually
Look
they look great.
Okay.
Like I don't know who greenlit this project and said to themselves, "This is going to be a great movie," because there's nothing about this movie that's good. Do not watch it.
I'm not going to.
Please don't. I would say, it's right there on the cusp of Bone Lake, but Bone Lake is still the worst movie I've seen.
You can't be worse than Bone Lake.
Yeah.
It takes a lot.
At least Bone Lake had talking in it. This movie has talking.
I would say the last movie that I've watched that I would say is worse than Bone Lake is A Cure for Wellness. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Do not watch Cure for Wellness.
Well, I don't plan on watching it.
It sucks.
Don't watch this movie. It was bad.
Yeah,
it was horrible. Like the only reason I essentially watched it because the video that my wife sent me, the first part of it is like, oh, in the very beginning you get to see Sasquatches fucking, and I'm like, curiosity gets the best of me, and
okay.
I decided, what? Okay, let's open this movie with it, and it's just weird because mom and dad are doing their business and back, and the kids are just and it's why? Why are you have a little
why
decency.
Is this something we're making? Yeah.
Have a little decency.
Yeah.
It's just bad. It's a bad movie. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Please don't watch it.
No.
Unless you want to see really cool Sasquatch outfits. Then pull up a clip on
maybe
pull up a clip on YouTube or on TikTok, but don't
watch the trailer.
Yeah, watch the trailer. Don't watch the movie.
Watch the trailer, see what they look like, and you're good.
Yeah, you're done.
Oh man. Well, we can kick over to emails.
Let's do it.
Got a couple. So
yeah,
be a shorter show this.
For sure, guys.
This episode. Carrie from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hey, guys. Love the convo on the last episode about everything going on at Xbox and just everyone's overall sentiments on where this brand stands currently. For the record, I've been there since day one with the original Xbox in 2001, and last fall was the first time I went out and bought a PlayStation since the PS2 era. I didn't completely give up on my Xbox Series X or trade it in, but I let my Game Pass lapse last fall after being absolutely disgusted with the price hikes. I have to say, the craziest part about getting a PS5 is that I don't feel like it's really that much different than playing games on the Xbox. Sure, the controller takes a little bit to get used to, but the games play just as well here. There are some exclusives that I haven't gotten to play yet that I will, and the PlayStation Plus Premium tier seems like a really solid answer to Game Pass. I think what people that are so entrenched in console wars and what piece of plastic is under their TV need to realize is that it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. These systems are damn near identical, so switching over really hasn't been that big of a deal. I may re-up my Game Pass for Fable this fall, but we'll see. And I think that's a good point to put out there. Like, it's not like it was years ago. Like, I think back to, like, there were games looked like, if you go back to the Super Nintendo Genesis days, games were completely different. Like, if you bought, like, the one that always sticks out in my mind is Batman Returns. Yeah, that is a fundamentally different game on the Genesis versus the Super Nintendo version. Yeah, like, they are just completely different. It's not like that today.
Not at all. But I mean, you could say that too, like with TMNT, you know, you had the
Hyperstone Heist.
Hyperstone Heist,
the Genesis one, and then
Turtles in Time.
So
it's like it really isn't the same. But I really feel like people like to play up this console war like it's the craziest thing in the world. It's done with. Like it has essentially been over for so long that it's. I think really ultimately comes down to how the controller feels. Like, how do you feel playing the actual controller? Do you like the PlayStation controller? Do you like the Xbox controller? It really just doesn't matter, because I feel like all the games play essentially the same way. And if there's really a game that you want to play that you have an Xbox for, I mean, you know, play it. But in the same instance, like, I really don't feel like the PlayStation exclusives really give you much weight to make you have to want to buy a PlayStation. Like,
I think it really depends on what it is. Like, if you're that franchise.
I still haven't finished Horizon. I still haven't played through either one of the God of Wars. Wolverine, yeah, it's cool, but I mean, we've played Spider-Man. If you've played Spider-Man, you're gonna know how Wolverine plays. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be similar. I think
it is. Yeah. It's gonna be similar. The only difference is there's gonna be way more blood and guts than there is on Spider-Man. And to be honest,
I would assume it's gonna be like that. X-Men Wolverine Origins game.
Exactly.
That was a good game. Bad movie. Very good game.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, I just feel like how she said, you know, the controller takes her getting used to, and PlayStation Plus Premium.
Like, I still think for me, like, I prefer an Xbox controller for first-person shooters. That's just me. But I can play one on a PlayStation controller. Like, if I had the option, I would rather play that with an Xbox controller.
But for me, like, I don't really feel like a difference in between the two. Like, if I plug in my Xbox,
would be the big one for me, and that's because I think that's really D-pad. The PlayStation D-pad is, nobody does it better. Like, that thing has been rock solid since the PS1, and they've always knocked it. I have always had problems with the Xbox D-pad. Like, for a fighting game, it just never has felt right in comparison. They tried to fix it in the 360 era with that thing you could, like, switch around to give it more of a depth feeling. But I never felt like that. PlayStation, it was always the way to go with the D-pad. So that would be the one instance where I'd be like, okay, if it's a fighting game, I would always get it on the PlayStation. But there you go. Shooters, I would always want to get it on the Xbox because I have the controller for that. But I will say, now that I mostly play, like, most everything I play on console is PS5 at this point, if I'm not playing it on PC. And the couple things I play that are first person shooters are fine.
Yeah. That's it. They're fine. That's how I feel about it.
It's not the end of the world. It's just there's other things you have to get. Like, the Xbox does not have a giant touchpad in the middle of the controller. You know, the PlayStation has that. Yeah. The PlayStation, or at least the DualSense controller, also has that microphone that nobody remembers is on unless you mute it. So I wouldn't recommend joining a party and talking with that open air mic because it's not great. You should probably have a headset, but it is there. The other thing I'll say that is gimmicky that I have always since the PS4, and I turn this off on every controller I get, is the speaker. I can't stand it. I think it's a gimmick and it's stupid. I agree. And anytime it comes on, it scares me because I'm like, what the hell is going on? We're just like, because like those early PS4 games, especially, every single one of them would do something because that was, you know, it's new technology. We got to show everything the system can do. Yeah. Every time, though, I get I immediately, it's the first thing I do is go on there, turn that speaker off because I don't want to hear anything ever come out of that thing. It's weird.
I understand that.
But yeah, they're so similar now. It's kind of crazy.
Well, and I mean, I just bought an Xbox Series X. What was it, like last year on Christmas, and I played it a handful of times, but I'm in the same boat. Well, I played my PlayStation 5 a handful of times. Like it's buy the system you want to buy. Like if you want to keep both of them, keep both of them. If you don't want to keep both of them, trade one in. Like these console wars are not important anymore. They're non-existent. Hell, I mean, the Switch 2 is not putting out anything that's really worth buying a Switch 2.
Apparently people like Pokopia or whatever it's called that came out. And I've heard people are comparing to Viva Pinata, which is cool.
Yeah,
but again, like my big thing, and I think this was the smartest decision for me, was saying, you know what? I'm not going to try and even buy any of these game key cards. I'm just going to be fully digital. And because I've done that, it's made me really think every time something comes out, do I really want to buy this game digitally? And because of that, I haven't bought another Switch 2 game. I just have Mario Kart.
And that's the thing about it.
I'm waiting for something.
With those key cards, I just don't. It doesn't feel like
dumb.
it's stupid. Like, why am I gonna? I can't get behind the key card idea behind it, and that's definitely not warranting buying a Switch 2 for any future.
I bought, and I think I mentioned it last time we recorded. I bought the physical Xenoblade Chronicles X Switch copy, the Switch 1 copy. And then I did the upgrade because there was like a Woot deal or something.
Yeah.
So I have and like some point I will look at that game and play it because I've always been interested in it. But
yeah,
I just, again, that was a physical Switch 1 purchase. But I have not bought another Switch 2 game since I bought the system and it came with Mario Kart.
Yeah.
There have been a couple times I've sat and looked and like right now, for example, like Crimson Desert comes out in 2 weeks. That's going to be the next game that I dive a bunch of time into. But I have started looking ahead and thinking about the summer of like, maybe it's time like Breath of the Wild, because I did the same thing with that game where I go back and play Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. This
summer and actually dive into it because I have the upgrade for it where it runs much, much better. So. But I would start it over at this point because when I did that upgrade and loaded up, I don't know where I am in that game. I only played like 5 hours, so I'm like, I should probably just restart this. So, but again, I go back to saying it, it's like they need to show me something with the Switch 2 for me to care. Like, I have felt like it's just been a gigantic paperweight.
Well, and like that's like, what was it? They just dropped the, for Pokemon Day, the new one, Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves, and
it looks cool. But I'm a sucker for tropical environments, and that's what's drawing me in.
But the only thing about it, I mean, it's still like one of those things where it's like it's still a Pokemon game. Like
that's the thing, yeah. And because I looked at it first, I'm like, oh man, those beaches look nice. Like I'm immediately sucked in because of the tropical environment because that's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
And then it sets in where I'm like, it's just kind of another Pokemon game.
I feel like at this point too, like Pokemon games are feeling like a lot like, what was it, like Madden and like the WWE games where it's just like rinse, cycle, repeat. Where we've got 3 cool new starter Pokemons. They don't. Honestly, they're really not that impressive.
Isn't that the big thing for this one? Is it's a new set of 150?
It's a new
Pokemon,
gen.
right?
Yeah, it's a new generation. Okay, but I'm sorry, they are not impressive to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't wait to play those guys.
I'll say this because I'm not going to get into where I've seen this, but I've been watching these people rip. I've been watching these 2 guys rip on another YouTuber for just being a piece of shit. But and this has been going on like 6 months now. I've been watching this develop. And the most recent grift that this guy is doing that they're ripping on is opening Pokemon cards, right? The reliance on those new Pokemon cards, they clearly are using AI generated images. They look terrible. Just like these new Pokemon and these, they look like ass.
And you want to know the crazy thing
ridiculous.
Is like the new drop that just dropped. Don't get me. I enjoy opening up Pokemon cards. I really do. And when I can get some, I really like to open it up with my kids and just kind of see. But Ascended Heroes, Ascended Heroes, the ones that just recently dropped, a lot of those cards mimic what just came out in Mega Evolutions. They're the exact same cards. They're just dropping again. And it's like, why? Like, why are you
That's a bummer.
If you're putting this much into these new cards, like, you should be doing new sets with new cards, like actually something that's different. But I just can't. I can't right now get into anything that Pokemon is dropping, because it doesn't feel the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't. Like, and I'll say this: I was only into Pokemon as a kid in that initial like red, blue, yellow.
Yeah.
That like period of time. And I've told I won't, I guess I can explain it here, but I've told this story many times on the channel. It's how I got a PS1. Because basically what I did, and I'm an idiot now in 2026, but you wouldn't know this. At the time, I collected the entire set of that first edition of Pokemon cards. And then I got to a point where I was like, I don't give a fuck about Pokemon anymore. What am I doing? I want a PlayStation. So I went to a card shop at the time, sold that entire set of cards, got a boatload of money at the time. For a kid, I got like $400, which is a lot of money. It's a lot of money today, but as a kid in the 90s, it's like being
a lot of money.
And I rolled over across the street, bought a PlayStation, Metal Gear Solid, and a bunch of other games, and I never looked back. And over the years since, I have tried to get in to different Pokemon games. I did not try, like, what were the ones that just came out? Leaf Green and Fire. I never played those as a kid. The last ones that I played through beginning to end was like Pearl and whatever the other equivalent of Pearl was.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's the last two, whatever one, I think it was Pearl was the one I played from beginning to end. I have not played a Pokemon game from beginning to end. Yeah. Okay. I have not played a Pokemon game from beginning to end since those. And I think that was like 2007. But I have tried over the years when new ones come out to be like, okay, yeah, maybe this is the one. And every single time without fail, it's like, it's just another Pokemon. It's just the same thing. We're not elevating this experience. We're not changing it. We're not innovating on it. And the one time I thought they were going to do it was that Arceus game.
Yeah.
Because I bought that day. I remember because you bought it too. And it was just like, I saw what they were going for, but it ran like garbage.
And what really does it for me, and what really drives me absolutely bananas, is Game Freak is perfectly capable of creating a game with this new one that's dropping, Beast of Reincarnation. Yeah. It looks fantastic. Now, don't get me wrong. It might play like ass. And I mean, we'll have to see what happens when it actually does come out.
But they're being allowed to cook with something and make something different. And I just wish that the Pokemon Company and Nintendo would just be like, you know what? Go underground for a while. Make something new with Pokemon.
Because it's like, you have the ability to do these open world Pokemon games, which I'm totally cool with, but it's not done well. Like, it really isn't. Like, you know, the traveling on it's not that great. The games themselves are just kind of bland and boring. And like with the most recent one that came out, Legends Z to A, whatever, I know there are a lot of people that like that.
There was a brief moment that I was sat on, I'm like, maybe I'll do it. And then because going digital and Switch 2, I'm like, I can't justify it.
Yeah, like I saw too many videos where it's like, I don't need the best graphics anymore. Well, I'm sitting here playing games like Dave the Diver. Shows you I don't need the best graphics in the world to play your game. I just need the game to feed me something that's going to be worth it. And Pokemon has not done that since, like you said, the like Yellow.
For me, for the last one for me was Pearl, but Red, Blue, and Yellow. Like Yellow was the last one I truly like played through outside of Pearl, where I had a really good time with it.
And I feel like what they did with Fire Red and Leaf Green, dropping those the way they did
that's fine.
$20, fantastic. That's a fantastic price point if you want to try those games out. But I can't warrant these. The Pokemon look like trash. Like, the new Pokemon are trash.
They look bad.
They're horrible, to the point where there's Pokemon that's a chandelier. There's a Pokemon that's a double-edged sword.
Watching those people rip on that guy opening packs, like, I've seen things open where I'm just like, what is this? Like what is this Pokemon? Like, this is ridiculous.
Like, I really
it's
feel
a light
like
switch.
It really is. And there's so many. It's just to the point now where it's like, I know you guys are trying your hardest to make new Pokemon up, But like when you take an evolution, like you're referring to them as mega evolutions right now with certain Pokemon have them.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Dragonite is such a cool looking Pokemon that you decided to put wings on his motherfucking head and let him fly like that. And it's like, why? Like, why? What are you guys doing? You guys have the ability to make these Pokemon look awesome. No offense, Digimon looks fantastic.
Look a lot better, yeah, right?
Why are we not doing this? Like, what is happening? I can't deal with. It's hard. It's legitimately hard to try and say something positive at that point when you're just not.
No,
it feels like you just don't care.
Yeah.
Like you're taking the name Pokemon and you're capitalizing on the fact that Pokemon is such a big brand because that's what's going to get me the money. Just the word Pokemon put between something.
I'll tell you, the only thing that would sell me on that was this because that literally the tropical environments that drew me in immediately. So I'm like, yeah, man, those beaches look good.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
I love like that. I'm a sucker for any game that has a tropical environment. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like that. And then, like I said, then I had that clarity of like, it's a Pokemon game though. It's just going to be another Pokemon game.
It's just a Pokemon game.
Exactly. But yeah, to roll it back to the Switch too, like I talk about like the PS5 Pro not being worth it all the time, but my God, the Switch 2 is
not worth it.
It is a brick that just sits there. Like I turned it on for the first time in a couple months the other day to put that copy of Xenoblade Chronicles in to do that update. Yeah. And then was like, oh, maybe I'll get to this one day.
Dude, one of my best friends bought a Switch 2 when it dropped, and he was like, man, I think I'm really gonna enjoy playing it because I stopped playing my Switch 1. He gave it to his girlfriend's kid and he's been playing it. He's like, so I think I'm gonna buy the Switch 2 and like try and get to stuff. He brought me his Switch 2, like I want to say it's been 2.5 months, 3 months now. It's been sitting in my house because he was like, hey, I'm going out of town. I don't want to leave my PS5 and my Switch 2 at my house because I don't live in the best place. He was like, can you hold on to it? I'm like, yeah, not a problem. They've literally been sitting in my closet, both his PS5 and his Switch 2. And he's been in my house almost every week, to come hang out.
I'm like, I need this.
Nope, doesn't really care about it. I'm like, dude, at any point, do you want your Switch 2 back? He's like, that's crazy. Nah, I think I'm okay right now. I'm like, did you just buy him to leave him in my closet? Like, what are we doing, man?
That's crazy. I have ironically, I've played more of my Steam Deck in the last year than I think that's
a better way playing the games right now.
I think it's a better platform. Yeah. Like it works really well for the games that you would want it to work well for. I mean, obviously there's stuff that I don't want to play one of these simulator games I'm addicted to on there because they don't run good, but like, right. There are games that run really well on that thing. So it is crazy to me how the Switch 2 just has been a non-fire of a machine at this point.
Exactly.
Like, it's horrible. Now we're coming up to the year mark of the announcement. And like we need to start announcing some other games. Like I have to imagine we're going to have a new Mario movie in less than a month here. How are we not announcing a new Mario Odyssey or something?
I don't understand what the problem is. I don't understand why we didn't release the Switch 2 with a brand new Mario game. You telling me
Mario Kart? Fine.
No, no. Don't even say that. You should have had a brand new Mario because you could have been like, hey, we got Mario World, which is, an open-ended Mario Kart, blah, 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 blah.
I mean, I will go back to the original Switch and I could make that argument of like that, like Breath of the Wild was the perfect game to launch the system with.
Yeah.
That game is incredible. And it not only was incredible at the time it came out, it also showcased for the first time. Now we look at it and we take it for granted, but the ability to like, hey, I'm playing this thing on my TV. Oh, I picked this thing up. I can just play it handheld. Was a crazy thing in 2017. Yeah. Now it's commonplace, but
it's just wild.
That was a perfect game to launch a system. And then within 6 months you had Mario Odyssey, like that system had a banger first year of releases. Whereas the Switch 2, it's been, here's Mario Kart. Here's this Metroid Prime game we worked on for too long. And now have to say it's a Switch 2 game, but it's really not.
Exactly. I don't know.
They're already selling Metroid Prime 4 on Woot for $50 right now. I don't know. I saw it and I the first thing I was like, oh, maybe I should do that. I'm not going to buy it physically, and I'm not interested in.
Just don't do it, man. It's not even worth it.
I need a new Switch game. I need them to announce something cool.
Something
that I go, okay, yeah, I would totally play that on a Switch. Just hasn't happened, man.
Mm-mm.
So I come out of those events now and I go, man, I hope that comes to PS5 or Steam and then I play it there.
There you go.
Our next email comes to us from Brian from San Francisco, California. Hey, dudes, with Sony shuttering Bluepoint, do you all think that the announcement of Wolverine coming out on September 15th was a way to skirt the negativity surrounding that announcement under the rug? Really seems like Sony needed a win after the announcement, and this was to cover that up. Yes, It was. 100%.
Yep.
They were getting... That Friday, because that was the last Friday that we recorded, they were getting slammed on every social media account about the Bluepoint thing. So ironically, the next Monday, oh, hey, Wolverine comes out September 15th. Like,
yep.
I get at the same time, like, I get it. We're in this weird period where everybody's going to have to shove out their game before November because of GTA.
Yeah.
But no, that was totally to get people to stop talking about Bluepoint because people are pissed off.
Yeah.
100%.
Please stop talking about our screw up.
I probably should have read this one earlier when we were talking about Resident Evil, but Devin from Austin, Texas. Hey, 572 crew. Now that Resident Evil 9 is out, have any of you had a chance to try it on the PS5 Pro? With the PSSR2 implementation they rolled out, this game looks utterly incredible. Really seems like they might have started actually making a case for the Pro system this gen. What do you all think? 100%.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure you went into detail about that one.
Yeah, I went into detail. 100%. Like, I think that game is a true showpiece. Like, it looks insane. The crazy thing is, I've seen footage of that game running on a Switch too, and like that version of that game doesn't look terrible either. Like, obviously, they can't do the ray tracing stuff and shit like that, but like, it doesn't look like a terrible way to play that game.
There you go.
The one other thing I forgot to say earlier about Resident Evil, and I'll shoot it out there real quick, is I like the fact that they gave that game, hey, you can play it in first person or third person. Tried it for about 5 minutes in first person. Did not care for that experience. That's not Resident Evil to me. So
yeah, I can agree with you. Third person's the only way to play that.
I appreciate that they did it. I appreciate that it's an option, because there are going to be, like, let's be reasonable. There are people that probably jumped on Resident Evil 7 as their first Resident Evil because that was a huge game when it came out.
Yeah.
And they're used to Resident Evil being a first person series. So I think that was a smart decision, but it's not for me. So
yeah, understandable though.
Our final email comes to us from Steve from Parkersburg, West Virginia. Howdy, dudes. With the Xbox announcing that its next system is codenamed Project Helix, do you think Microsoft is just going to completely ignore the RAM and GPU crisis and shove this thing out in 2027? It really seems like they are going full steam ahead on this thing. Also, any thoughts on them saying this thing will play Xbox and PC games? I mean, I said earlier, and I still stand by, I don't think this thing will play Steam games, at least not right away.
Yeah.
I didn't put the article in here today, but I did see that Valve is probably going to push the Steam machines rollout to 2027 because of the RAM crisis. It really seems like Sony's not going to put out a new system until 2029, 2030. Like, I haven't seen anybody really combat that at this point.
I still think at this point in time, I think this generation of gaming, I'm done. Like, I don't think I'm going to.
We're there. I don't think we're there yet in terms of like,
I just don't see the
system.
Point.
Yeah, like, I'm sure if I just had a base PS5 and played Resident Evil 9 and hadn't seen what it looked like, I would have been fine. Like, this is perfectly. I don't think we're at that point where like, oh, this base PS5, this is trash. Like, we're not there.
Exactly.
I mean, hell, look at like up until end of 2023, we were still mass producing PS4 games and like putting those exclusives out on PS4.
Yep.
So we're not there yet, and I think
not at all.
It's perfectly okay for this generation to hang on for a decade. I don't think that's a problem. I also think that this generation launched too early. I don't think it should have launched in 2020. The Xbox launched with nothing. The PlayStation had 2 games. So, Demon Souls and Miles Morales. So
yeah.
It's just, I don't think we're there yet. Who knows what Microsoft's doing? I also feel like they're going to throw a bunch of AI garbage into the new Xbox as well, because that's
I agree.
what that head has come from. So
yeah, I agree.
Do you want a co-pilot Xbox? I don't
know, man. I could be down for a co-pilot Xbox.
Play the game for me.
Like, I just want to watch you play.
Xbox, play the game for me. Like,
there you go.
Make me do better at the game. I don't know. I'm so checked out on what they're doing, and I said that earlier before in this episode too. But like, I don't really care what they're doing at this point. Like, I just put your games out on something that I can play it on, and I'll play it there. Like,
if it's worth it, I'll play it. If it's not, I'm not going to. Like, that's just how I feel about games nowadays. If it's something I really want to play, I'll play it. If it's something I really don't care about, I'm not going to play it. Like, I don't know. I'm at the point now, like, I've gotten people telling me Resident Evil 9 is fantastic. My cousins messaging me about it.
It's a fantastic game, but if it's not the typical game that you care for, or a franchise you have a heavy investment in, it's the 9th game in a franchise, right?
Yeah.
30-year franchise. Like, if it's not your thing.
I played 1, 2, 3, and 4 religiously. I really liked all 4 of those. I thought they were done really well. I enjoyed my time with them. I bought 5, didn't really play through it. I bought 6, didn't really play through it. I bought 7 and 8, didn't really care about them. Like, I'm at the point now where it's like, I might give Resident Evil 9 an opportunity, but I'm gonna wait. Like, I'm not gonna get in it anytime soon, and I'm just gonna hold off on it. You know what I mean?
Like I said earlier, if you have the ability to play 2, you should go play that remake.
I probably will if I do get the opportunity. I
think that would be a good, like, test for you to be like, okay, maybe I am interested in Resident Evil 9 when it's on a sale.
There you go.
Because again, it's the other thing to say is, like, Resident Evil games go on sale all the time.
They're Capcom.
Constantly. Capcom games are on sale all the time. Like, I guarantee you, Pragmata will be 30% off a month after its release. Because when
Pragmata drops to $10, I might buy it. But that's it. I did not like the way that game played.
I didn't like how it played either, but I like
visually
the aesthetic, and I love what the story is. Like, it's really interesting to me. It's just,
and that's why I'm saying, like, when I played the demo to it, I liked it. I liked the interaction between the girl and the guy. Like, I really thought it all played really smoothly. I hated that gameplay. Like, I was like, what is this? I don't want
to do a puzzle to shoot something. Like,
every time I could get it if it's a boss. Give me a puzzle at the boss. Helps me get them down. I'm cool with that. Every freaking person has a.
How long do you think in that game's lifespan does it get to the point where they put out a patch where you can play without the puzzle?
It's got to be within the first month.
Within the first, you think it's that quickly?
It has to be. I'm sorry, man.
I don't think people are going to get into it.
I feel like if you liked the demo, you understood the premise of it, and it's going to be a good game. But when it drops and it's $70, you're going to tell yourself, I don't want to do that every time. I don't want to play that. I don't want to play that small little puzzle on every boss. Or not every boss. I walked
away from that demo bummed because of it, because I liked everything else about it.
I had nothing negative to say about the demo, like, which is crazy because what was it? I played that game last year that had all that talking in it. That one Xbox game that dropped. What is that? What was it? Atomfall that I played? I can't remember.
Oh yeah. Atomfall.
I hated that game with a passion. I was like, the conversation is garbage
was it
between
Atomfall
these two.
Or was it Atomic Heart?
Atomic Heart. That game. Okay. Garbage. I could not get behind it. But the characters in Pragmata were really well done. Like, and
everything else around that game is awesome.
Why give me this stupid puzzle to play? Like, I really
because they wanted to have something that's unique.
Well, it uniquely pissed me off. Like,
and that's the thing is, like, even if you take out this puzzle thing and you just make it a third-person shooter,
I'm okay with that.
The premise of it is unique enough that I would be interested in, like, hey, this is a new franchise. We're doing something new. It's a third person over the shoulder. It's made with the re-engine, so that makes 100% sense. That's the best way. That's the best use of that engine.
Yeah.
So
I fully agree.
It's a bummer. And it's coming out in April. And it bums me because, like, I was all on board with that game until I played that demo and it derailed any hype I had for it.
It's like if you put out a patch that allows me to disable that as a feature, I'd be game in on it and I'd like to play it. But that puzzle game threw me. Like when I first did it, I was like, "Oh, that was pretty cool. Like that was an interesting way." And then I went in again, and I was
the
like,
corner,
again?
and it's like, "Oh man,
I don't like this," because it's like you don't have to necessarily play the puzzle to shoot.
No,
but your gun becomes invalid at that point. Like it doesn't. Like you do like one little ding,
doing 0 damage.
0.
So it's just kind of like, it's not what I want out of this game. So
yeah,
it's a bummer.
It really is.
But yeah, as far as the new Xbox, I'm so checked out of what they're doing. And even if they come out and they're like, yeah, we're putting this out next year. We also remember before Sarah Bond was ousted, she kept saying it's going to be an expensive machine.
It's got to be an expensive machine with what's going on with RAM and
it has. Look at it GPU. This way, like a PS5 Pro now, after the tariff bullshit, is an $800 machine today. If you walk into a store and buy one, a Series X is almost $700. I think it's. I want to say when I was at Walmart the other day, it was $650. I actually saw one on the shelf. Do you really think that a new Xbox is going to be less than those two prices?
It's got to be. It's got to be way more than that. Yeah,
it's got to be.
It's got to be sitting at $1,000. And then you got to think to yourself, well, if if Project Helix is $1,000, the PS6 has got to be at least $1,100 system, right?
It's got to at least be around the same price. I just don't see a way that they could have it be a lower priced machine.
I just can't. I can't do it, man.
No, at that point, like I said, I really wanted to build a new PC this year, but I just couldn't. Even though, like, and this goes off subject, but like, even though I totally could do it, I cannot justify the price, and the cost of it, because it's just like a year ago I could have built the same thing for literally probably half the price that it would cost today, just between. Either if I want to get a new GPU, the amount of RAM I want to put in it, because the machine I run now is 32 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah,
I would easily want to upgrade that to 64 for a new machine. That right there is probably going to be $1,000.
Yeah, man,
and that's just RAM.
That's just crazy.
Whereas a year ago, that you probably would have been looking at like $150, $200.
Yeah.
That would be about the sweet, reasonable spot that RAM would have been in about a year ago. So now it's just crazy. And GPUs are even worse. And like, to be fair, I build a new PC. I'm just going to take this 4070 and put it in it, because that's what I've done with every computer I've built at this point. Is I buy a video card later down the road. I use the previous one I've been using because who cares? But even those are crazy now. And I've seen a lot of people that have problems with the 50 series. I see issues with that all the time. The other thing that's crazy, if you ever look at like when Steam does the surveys for like what people are using as hardware, most people are still on the 30 series.
Yeah.
So either 30, 40, the percentages of people that are on that 50 series, very low.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me when people are using the 50 series, and those are the people I see having the most problems with new release games too.
Yeah,
or people that are on the 50 series. So it's like, why would I want to upgrade to that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just wild.
I don't know. The other thing too is like, more than any other generation, I have such a ridiculous backlog of things to play that like I don't see like obviously new systems, whatever this new Project Helix is, whatever the next PlayStation is, it will have to be backwards compatible.
It has to be.
I do think as far as the Xbox goes, I don't think that system will have a disk drive. If they're going to give you an option to buy one separately, who knows? But I don't think out of the box it will. Whereas I would argue the PlayStation, I don't think it will come with one, but I definitely think you'll be able to purchase one. And I think it's stupid, but I think that's how they'll go. But I do think this will be the last generation that has that ability.
Yeah.
And I hope so, because I have a huge library of physical games.
Dude, I still have PlayStation 4 games that are still in the cellophane. Like,
so do I, man.
Like it's crazy. Like I can't even think about in my brain where
I buy stuff like Wu Teals all day. Like I'll show this one. So this game I've been looking at for a while. I don't want this. So this game I've been looking at for a while, and the deluxe version of it showed up on Woot, and after a coupon I got it for $20. It's that Grand Blue fantasy relink game.
Yeah.
This is the deluxe version.
That's crazy.
$20.
$20 on Woot.
$20 after a coupon, to be fair, because they gave me a coupon for buying something else, and I was like, I should see what's on there, and I saw this, and this is something I've been looking for a while.
You know what's crazy is while we're doing this episode, I went to Woot. I always look at Woot when we're talking, and I kind of see if there's anything happening. And there's this game I've been looking at called Buy Sweet Carol.
Okay.
I saw it was on Woot for $20, so I went in and bought it. So,
see, we'll end on that hot tip here. Check Woot and check Woot often.
Check Woot often, man.
I've gotten in the last year, I've gotten so many good deals, games, $10, $15, $20 that especially if you're somebody like me that likes to collect physical games.
Yeah, Switch games are still kind of crazy.
Expensive. They're still like $30, $40 depending on what it is, but it's better than what you're going to find at Best Buy.
Just give Woot a look, because like right now, like I said, Little Nightmares 3 is the deluxe edition, the one I was even looking at one point in time before I bought it, is $77 right now on Woot. And I'm like, damn, I should have waited and bought it there, but I couldn't wait.
It's crazy.
You know? I did it to myself. But yeah, I mean, there's always a good deals on good stuff that's on that thing.
It is ridiculous. And I'll say, that stuff ships relatively really fast.
Yeah, not bad.
Really fast. So that's my hot tip for the week. As always, you can send your emails into podcast572@gmail.com. Otherwise, we'll be back in another 2 weeks for another edition of the podcast. Thank you for listening or watching.
Be safe.